This is Alan Farley from FX Empire. Let's take a look at the top best stocks to watch for 2022. First up is IBM. I know this could be a controversial choice because IBM's been in a downtrend for more than 8 years. However, IBM in November spun off their slower moving divisions into Kyndryl Holdings. That occurred just right here. Now, Kyndryl went straight down after this break up and continued to go down and still losing ground at the end of December. However, IBM bottomed out in November when folks started to think about the new company, which includes a cloud division that's very successful and can compete with Amazon and Microsoft. Now, the stock's gone straight up since that time, and it's about to end the year with a small gain, which is really kind of good news. Now, the real trouble starts for IBM right around the 150 level. As you can take a look on this monthly chart, you can see the downtrend. You can see this trend line right around here. Now, this is right around the 146 to 150 level. And once it clears this level here, you're going to be breaking this downtrend. So right up around 150 to 155 will be the start of a new downtrend. And the new slimmed down IBM could produce very, very strong gains going forward. Second up is Visa. Visa's finishing flat for the year, which makes a lot of sense. Now, 2021 should have been a good year for Visa, but then Delta came along, and then Omicron came along. Now, as you can see, let's go back really far here, and IBM, excuse me, Visa is the most oversold it's been since 2010. And take a look at what happened after this little crossover back here in 2010. We had about 10 years of very good returns. Well, we've pulled back, and we're very, very close right here to a bullish outside month. This could be very, very good news for Visa as Omicron produces very intense immunity around the world, and we have great new COVID drugs that make it more and more like the common cold going forward. Next up is Boeing, which is an obvious choice. Boeing's been cut in half since, more than cut in half since 2019 when it crashed those jetliners, 737 MAX jetliners. Well, its fortunes have improved in recent years. If you go back to the start of 2021, it did pretty well. This is where the MAX was released to return to the skies in the United States, and it got up pretty well. Got up to about a not a 52-week low, yeah, about a 52-week high here in March. Well, then it really became just another travel stock at that point, and it started to pull back, and Delta intensified the pullback, and Omicron's intensified the pullback again. However, it's come back right here to January support right around 200. That's a very big psychological level, and if it can hold this, which I think it's going to, then Boeing could start to make some really nice progress in 2022 and going forward. And it also has a lot of ground to catch up. We could see a return all the way to this high near 450. I don't think in 2022, but in the next 2 to 3 years, we get some nice little whip up back over 300, maybe even 400 by 2024. Fourth up is another beat up 2021 stock, and that's Roku. Roku, as you can see, let's take a look on a 5-year. Roku had a very good time during the pandemic in 2020. It based right here, little cup and handle that broke out in September, produced very strong gains that more than doubled in price into February. Then it just got creamed, dropping to the 270s. Returned once again in a very strong rally, at least a strong rally for traders. If you're a shareholder, you probably thought the skies were clear, and they certainly were not, because it just turned around once again, breaking this double top right here in November, and it's come right back to about the 185 to 190 level. Now, I don't think the self is quite done yet, and we have this very intense resistance right here, right around the 270 level, but right here you can see this 200-month moving average right around 170, and this could be a very good spot to enter Roku for recovery as this very fragmented and oversaturated streaming space starts to pick winners and losers, and Roku could very easily be a winner because its set-top box can coordinate all of those confusing entertainment options. Finally, let's take a look at gold. Now, gold was projected to have a wonderful 2020, and it really didn't. If you take a look back at gold, it was very strong, 2020, yeah, it was strong in 2020, got up to the prior high, which is, I think, the 2011 high, and we'll look at that in a second, broke out, probably brought in those breakout buyers, and look what happened to them. Now, look at the price action. It bottomed out in March, and it's just sort of doing nothing here, but sometimes nothing is a good thing. If you take a look back at the 10-year chart here, you can see that gold is grinding through a potential very, very long-term cup and handle pattern. And all we have to do right now is hold this little trend line right here and get back up to about the 180, 190 level. And this will start setting off a lot of buying signals for a breakout that probably projects a move over 3,000 on the futures contract and 300 on the fund.